Hello everybody, Professor Barth is here, history professor at Arizona State University. Wow, where to even begin?
We are at war with Russia. Or perhaps more correctly, we have lost a war with Russia without a battle. We are no longer a sovereign nation. We are no longer a democracy. We are no longer a free people. We are the victims of a bloodless coup.
The senator from Kentucky is now working for Vladimir Putin.
I know a lot of people don't like to hear the word impeachment, but I believe it's going to lead right to impeachment.
You know people don't like to hear the word impeachment, but we know you like saying it.
The nation and all of our freedoms hang by a thread, and the military apparatus of this country is about to be handed over to scum who are beholden to scum, Russian scum.
Absolutely.
So you think the Russian government developed the talking points for the Trump campaign?
I think that there was a cooperation in developing strategy.
Just to be clear, there has been no actual evidence yet.
No, it has not been.
Okay. I just want
no,
to
it has not.
I think that Ronald Reagan will be rolling over his grave at your carrying water for the Kremlin.
I'm not carrying water for the. You're a sitting member of Congress on the Intel Committee, and you can't say they hacked.
You're gonna have to move your show to RT Russian television because
you know what?
This
That's
is perfect.
Just so beneath your office because it's so dumb and you're being duplicitous.
We are living in the new Red Scare. This is a new Red Scare. After World War I, around 1919, 1920, you had the first Red Scare. And it was just this hysterical, conspiratorial mania that swept the country, that the Russians were infiltrating government and taking over the United States, on and on. And then that died away, and people saw for what it was. Like, a lot of it was just a witch hunt, you know? And then in the 1950s, you had the second Red Scare. And in the 1950s, same sort of deal. Now, there were Soviet spies in the American government. Just like we had spies in Soviet power structure. But it devolved into this just manic, again, hysterical, that's where we get McCarthyite paranoia. And that was the context of Arthur Miller's The Crucible, the Salem witch trials. That was an allegory of what was going on in the 1950s. And now all of a sudden, like, look at this Time magazine cover. That is unbelievable. That cover. It's irresponsible. And I say it's irresponsible because, look, if there were hard evidence that that a foreign power was colluding and such in the United States government, okay, then let's proceed from there. But this is based on anonymous sources, on conjecture, on just very flimsy. Like, for example, Michael Flynn there got all mad because he met with the Russians as national security advisor, or as incoming national security advisor in December. He met with the Russians. Oh my gosh, he met with the Russians. Like, dude, that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's your job. Remember when Russia was our ally after the Cold War, and now all of a sudden, like, what happened to that? When did Russia become, like, this mega enemy? Okay, I'm not saying they're a totally free country. Of course not. By the way, we're not either. Hate to break it to you. But I know there's problems with Russia. There's more problems in Saudi Arabia, and we're real good allies with them. I mean, you look at Saudi Arabia, that is an oppressive country at the end of the day, period. We're allies with them. And Trump won the election on, in part, his foreign policy message was we should cooperate with Russia to take down ISIS. So the American people knew that he wanted to reform relations with Russia in an alliance to take down ISIS. And I mean, by the way, I mean, this would not be without historical precedent. Who did we ally against? Who did we ally with to take down Hitler during World War II? We allied with Stalin. who is just, even if, Putin is a malicious tyrant, on and on and on, which is questionable, but even if you were to say he was, he's still not even a tiny fraction of what Stalin was, who just murdered millions and millions of people. And we allied with Stalin in World War II. I mean, Russia has an interest in taking down ISIS. They really do. It's like right down on their doorstep. Right, so what we're seeing right now are total hysterics. The Democratic Party, not all of them, but a good portion of them, the Democratic Party has been hijacked by Neil McCarthy, Neil Birch, paranoid, almost borderline schizophrenic conspiracy theorizing. And they're doing it, though, to take down Trump. Like, that has been the agenda from the beginning. And you could say, well, I don't like Trump. I would like for him to be impeached. Okay, but impeachment, it has to be because of high crimes and misdemeanors. You cannot simply impeach somebody because you disagree with their political positions. And these accusations are being made up whole cloth, and it's being pushed by the corporate media, right? And I love how, like, when I became of intellectual age in undergraduate school, I read Noam Chomsky, books like Manufacturing Consent, and it was like just standard knowledge that the corporate-run media has an agenda and pushes that agenda, and that you have to take what they say with a grain of salt. And now all of a sudden it's like the left has forgotten all of that, and they are siding with the corporate establishment. They are siding with, I mean, you look at who runs Washington Post, one of the wealthiest men in America, Jeff Bezos of Amazon. You don't think he has an agenda? Or who's doing these leaks? It's the deep state. Look at my video from January, the talk I gave at ASU about the election, and listen to what I said about the deep state.
But he's taking these shots, this antagonism, this taunting to the intelligence community.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know, but from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about.
What we're witnessing right now is an attempt by the deep state, an attempted coup by the deep state against the president. That is what this is, no doubt about it. And they're using fear tactics and paranoia and mania to drum up the public to get behind it. But they are targeting President Trump. Again, agree with him or not, right? He's done some things, as you've seen from videos I've made in the last couple months. He's done some things I haven't agreed with. But like it or not, he has pitted himself against these deep, entrenched interests. That's why Dennis Kucinich came out last night, and Dennis Kucinich, who actually back in the 2000s, big hero of mine, when he ran for president on a Democratic ticket, on a number of, in a Democratic primary on a number of occasions. Dennis Kucinich, extremely smart, very, very principled, definitely a man of the left, pretty socialist, I would say. Proto-Bernie Sanders. And he said this is the deep state trying to take down Trump. He sees what it is. It's obvious what it is. And they're using McCarthyite paranoia to do it.
Well, you have a politicization of the agencies that is resulting in leaks from anonymous, unknown people, and the intention is to take down a president. Now, this is very dangerous to America. It's a threat to our republic. It constitutes a clear and present danger to our way of life. This is a problem in our country. We've got to protect our nation here. People have to be aware of what's going on. We've got to stand up for America now. This isn't about Democrat, Republican. This is about getting what's going on in the moment and understanding that our country itself is under attack from within.
There's not a doubt in my mind that this will go down in history as another chapter of Red Scare politics. And do you really want to ally yourself with that? Because this is not right. This is dangerous. And if the President of the United States is taken down by phony, anonymous, just ridiculous charges of a Russian conspiracy that doesn't exist. I mean, the whole Syria thing? Russia was totally opposed to that. Trump just went in was bombing that air base, right? And Russia was like, you better not. Remember when Russia wasn't down with that? Like, that was just not that long ago, but y'all have forgotten that. But the president of the United States can be taken down based on just anonymous rumor like this. I mean, that is extremely dangerous. And I think right now, in this point in our country's history, we are at risk of something really, really bad. And there's something in my gut right now that just doesn't sit right. There's something wrong here. And it's not good. And it's I've never seen anything like it. And things need to chill down a bit, because if they don't, there could be some real nasty things ahead. Point is, everyone needs to relax, take a chill pill, and turn off that corporate garbage, that corporate media garbage, because what they're doing is they are just feeding. There's an agenda there, and again, I appeal to my good friends on the left, just in the same way that you have to take what the corporatized media says with a grain of salt. I mean, you got to take what the CIA and the intelligence agencies say with a grain of salt. Don't y'all remember what the CIA and the intelligence agencies were doing in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 50s and just all throughout? Since its inception, the CIA has done a lot of good. Right? There has been good done in the CIA. There are good people in the CIA. But the CIA also has a dark side to it, and y'all know that. But the Democrats and a good bulk of the left in this country has decided to ally with it. And they, I think Keith Olbermann did a video just a few days ago calling on foreign intelligence agencies to take down the president. It's like, what? That is like treason, man.
There's a lesson, a really critical lesson that I thought we had learned back in August 1964 when the U.S. Senate stood up and authorized Lyndon Johnson to escalate the war in Vietnam with 2 dissenting votes based on the intelligence community's claims about what happened in the Gulf of Tonkin that turned out to be totally false. And the same lesson in 2002 when a group of bipartisan senators assured the nation that the intelligence community convinced them that Saddam had weapons of mass destruction and was in an alliance with al-Qaeda. And the same lesson we learned in 2013 when just months before the Snowden reporting, James Clapper, President Obama's top national security official, lied to the faces of the country when he said that he wants to assure everybody that the NSA doesn't collect data on millions of Americans. And that lesson is we don't just blindly and uncritically accept the claims of the intelligence community, especially provocative claims about a foreign adversary, without seeing convincing evidence presented by them that those claims are true. And we absolutely have not seen that in this case.
Oh, dude, I don't know. So I'm at the risk of rambling on any further because I don't have a script here. This is just me giving my thoughts, period. And this needs to stop. Needs to stop. And responsible people really do need to speak up and say, like, look, we like Trump, we don't like Trump, or in some cases can't stand Trump. But you know what? Like, we can't be doing this in this because it's our democracy, our republic. Our republic is at risk right now.
Our first allegiance is to our country. This isn't about one president. This is about the political process of the United States of America being under attack by intelligence agencies and individuals in those agencies. Yes, as you said, there might be some good people in there, but there are certain individuals who are the lifers who want to be able to direct the policy of the country. And if a president stands in their way, whether it's a Democrat or Republican,